Hi, it's my honor to welcome Dr. Luis Portales, who is a professor and researcher at the University of Monterrey in Mexico. Today, he will be speaking about strategic alliances, and we know how important those are. Working with governments, schools, businesses, and anybody who can make your job a little easier. So please welcome Dr. Luis Portales. After his session, we'll get together for some questions, and he will be able to answer anything that you'd like to ask of him. Thank you.
Okay, imagine that someone arrived to your office and asked you, tell me, what do you do and what do you need to increase your impact? What will you tell him? What will be your reaction? Well, that is our initial question when we meet for the first time a possible ally for our initiative, Plexipus. But what is Plexipus? Plexipus is a social lab that seeks to reduce the violence in specific territories by the articulation of effort from several sectors of the society, named private, public, social, and academic. The main idea behind Plexipus is that the insecurity and basically any social problem is too complex to be addressed by one single actor, no matter how many resources it has. Moreover, all the social problems are interconnected among them. So no matter how much we try to solve it, if we don't see the whole picture, it's going to be a waste of time and resources for all of us. Before to explain how Plexipus is working, then I'm going to explain a little some key concepts related with this type of initiative, related with the creation of a strategic alliance for impact. The first concept is local impact network. And here the main idea is not about how many actors do you have, it's how many actors work together in the creation of some relevant impact for the society and your beneficiaries. The more important aspect of this type of network is the capacity to work together in a specific project. No matter if it's for different goals, the key element here is that every actor works in this type of projects has the sense that they are working for their own goals. The second concept is the multi-sectoral allies. It's important to have a lot of actors as allies, but it's more relevant the diversity among them. A multi-sector network, as the name mentioned, is a group of actors from different sectors, private, public, social, and academics, that decide to share the resources to address some social issues. The relevance of these aspects is not the definition of multi, it's the sectoral. We could create a multi-stakeholder network where if all of them come from the same sectors, basically we could consider as a big actor. But if we are all different, then we are going to have access to multiple types of resources and multiple types of comments. The third element is systemic view. See the forest is not good enough. We have to understand the interaction between all its inhabitants. Everybody speaks about the relevance of a systemic view of the problem, but it's very difficult to have it when your organization has a specific mission and the urgency to attend it increase with the time. Therefore, it's important to understand how the mission or the problem perceived by one organization is related with your mission and the problem that you are working for. And this concept of its systemic view is related with this social innovation concept. Basically, the social innovation concept is related that everyone is creative, everyone has innovative in the social sector, but only by empowering and creating local capabilities is how we transform the reality. The main idea behind social innovation and the interaction with systemic view is that we have to increase the capability of the society and local actors to transform its own communities. The basic premise is this statement, is the idea that every society has several resources and we must use it to create social transformation. We have to use these resources in the most efficient and effective way if we want to create a real impact. And the only way to achieve it is creating new capabilities in the system and the community. And why it's important to understand all this concept? All this concept is the bottom line that we have a common language that we use to speak among others. In that sense, when we speak about what is a local impact network or a multi-sectoral lens or a systemic view, then we are in the same channel. then we understand what is the main relevance of all these concepts in the creation of this type of alliance for impact. Now, I'm going to explain a little bit the methodology we follow to create this type of strategic alliance for impact. The first step is to know how many actors are in the territory. This helps us to understand what is the size of the potential and of social capital and social and institutional tissue. For this step, we use georeference strategy to map all the actors that exist in the territory, and we classify them by type of sector, possible resources, and social issue. The second step, which apparently is very simple, but it is not, believe me, we arrange meeting with all of them. The main idea of this meeting is to create trust and to understand two things. What are they doing, and what are the main problems that they identify as relevant to complete its own missions? Based on this first and second step, we go to the third step, which basically is the identification of holes or gaps in the creation of well-being in the territory. This idea probably feels kind of strange, but we have to be able to identify all the issues that community faces and where the solution of the actor finish. Remember, nobody could attend all the problems by its own. So when we begin to identify the holes in the system or the lack of continuity of the solution that some actors provide, then we're going to be able to increase the possibility to create something that connects all of them with the actors and its beneficiaries. The fourth step is the analysis of the social issue from a network perspective and interconnect. Basically, we identify all the holes and all the issues and verify that this issue affects how this issue affects other issues and how that other affects another ones. We are going to find all the issues that are interconnected among them, and consequently, we have to create a solution of program to solve them from a systemic perspective. If you solve one single issue and leave its causes or effects for tomorrow, then the issue is going to move forward in the system and eventually is going to return to you. Based on this analysis, we start to propose solutions for the actors and for ourselves as the fifth step. That means we create something that fills the gap or cover the hole in the system that the other actors, and we identify the needs to be addressed in order to achieve our goals. And basically, here is where the magic begins, because we look for the other actors that could complete the circle or fill the gap in our system. So basically, this new actor is trying to solve his own issues, but probably needs us to complete his own mission. Basically, we are creating chain of solutions in the same territory. The sixth step basically is to co-implement the solution. Here is where the real thing happens, because we need to create mechanisms of dialogue that allow us to implement the solution in a very synchronized way. The last step is the evaluation of the implementation. The evaluation should be very transparent to all the stakeholders and oriented to the validation of the result and the creation of new lessons about the problem and the interaction between the solution. To clarify all these steps, I want to present a very small case that we have here in Plexicus in Mexico, and that occurs with Club de Niños y Niñas de Nuevo León. We begin the process of identifying the lack of follow-up in the creation of young social entrepreneurs or change agents by the club. The club accomplished its own mission, but it was impossible for them to provide extra training and to invest more resources in the implementation of the project defined by the kids. Then we speak with them, we identify a key aspect to reduce violence and delinquency, to the empowerment of the children as agents of change in the community. Once we define the gap or hole in the system, we find an organization that works in the urban marginal community with kids, Fomento para la Excelencia Educativa de Nuevo León, with basically work with kids, but with a small difference, and with a small difference, which is that this organization has a program centered focus in the creation of agents of change by a methodology in the creation of community projects. Club de Niños y Niñas y Fomento works together in the adequacy of the project for the kids of the Club de Niños y Niñas. This design took 2 months, the implementation took 5 months, but at the end, the kids present the project to the municipal police and private organization, which now is willing to help them to implement it in the neighborhood. In addition of this relation, of this network, Fomento y Club de Niños y Niñas right now is working in a strategy to work with the parents of the kids in order to identify those households which are in a risk of domestic violence, which with the pandemic is increasing in the area. About this project, the municipality crime prevention has a huge interest to see the results and how to find a way to collaborate. So basically, besides the using of the resource that each organization has, we are creating a network based in action in a territory where no social or institutional tissue exists. The network now is increasing, but these are only the first step of a long way we have to work or to walk in social transformation of the community. With that in mind, and to finish my presentation, I want to present a key elements in the creation of this multisectoral network. First one, no matter the size of your organization, the relevant is the resources that exist in the system. Second one, social issues should be analyzed as a complex system of interaction and not only as one solution or one problem. Third one, everyone should work for its own mission, but for a common good. That's the main idea of the projects that should exist. Fourth one is the quick wins. We have to have these quick wins in more relevance than big results. The quick wins allow us to encourage the creation of this network. The sixth one is networks based on action and not on paper. So basically, we could create a lot of networks in paper, but it doesn't create a common project or it's not working in a specific territory, then this network is going to be doomed. And the last one is, if there is no project, there is no network. You should start to create your own projects by creation of your own network to create the social transformation that you are looking for.